Um, Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Baba Kizo again. So today our topic is going to be beginner's guide to penetration testing process. These are just the basics actually, but I'm excited to actually get into actual hacking and not just talking. And these are the first 7 steps you have to take during a penetration test, and we're going to read through this blog together really quickly and not waste much of your time. Thanks for joining me today again. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So, straight up, beginner's guide to penetration testing process. Penetration testing process, also known as pen testing, is a method used by ethical hackers to evaluate security of a system. That's pretty straightforward. It involves simulating cyber attacks to identify vulnerabilities before malicious hackers can exploit them. I think that's pretty straightforward as well. It's just like you have a computer system, or just for example, your house, you would like to protect it and you have valuables in there. You try to get someone to try to break in there, or you can even try to break in there by yourself and see what security measures need to be put in place, or what you've done wrong, or whatever improvement can be made. So, if you're a beginner, understanding the 7 phases of penetration testing is key to getting started. You need to know the steps to take to get started. So you don't just jump into penetration testing without knowing what you're doing. And you can do that, but it's just gonna be more stressful for you. So let's break the steps down into simple steps. Number one is pre-engagement, the planning phase. This is the stage where you discuss the scope and objectives of the test with the client. This is where you talk to the client about what needs to be tested, or what permissions you have to do to whatever it is. You will define what systems can be tested and the boundaries and overall goal. That's pretty straightforward to understand. So, why is it important for the planning stage to be part of the process? Without clear guidelines, you risk legal or ethical issues. Having a plan ensures everyone is on the same page. I think that's pretty straightforward. It's easy to get out of line in this job role path. As an hacker, if you don't know what's legal and what's not, you might be doing something illegal and not know it. So that step is important. Number two, let's go. Mm, Reconnaissance and scanning, information gathering. In this phase, you gather information about the target. You can do this passively by researching publicly available data, like using tools such as UIs, or actively scanning for open ports and services with tools like Nmap. The goal of reconnaissance and scanning in the information gathering step, the goal is to gather as much information as possible about the target's environment to understand potential attack vectors. I think this is really straightforward and easy to understand, not to waste much of your time on this. We are going to get deeper into each and every one of these topics later, and I'll make a blog post and maybe a video about it too. So let's just read through them really quickly. These are what we're going to be deep diving into later. Number three, vulnerability assessment. After gathering information, you analyze it to identify weaknesses in the system. Tools like Nessus and OpenVAS can help you detect vulnerabilities that hackers could exploit. Examples: you might find unpatched software, misconfigured servers, or exposed devices. These are pretty straightforward definition. And yes, we're going to deep dive into each and every one of these topics later. We're just getting ourselves prepared for them and aware of what we're going to deep dive into later. Okay. And number four, exploitation. These are the interesting stage. This is where everybody likes just actually getting into the system, hacking it. So this is the action phase. Once you have identified vulnerabilities, you use them to gain access to the system. Exploiting vulnerabilities can be done manually or with tools like Metasploit. And there are a couple examples to come with the Metasploit, and I will be writing about it and making a video about it. So the goal to prove that the vulnerability can be exploited to breach the system's defenses. We're going to deep dive into this because I have a lot to say about this too. So let's get it. Number five, post exploitation. After successfully gaining access, you evaluate the impact of the breach. This includes trying to escalate privileges, maintain access, or move laterally through the system. Why is it important? This phase helps you understand what data or resources an attacker could access after breaching the data. I'm not going to deep dive into this too yet, but we are going to focus on this later too. Because you might hack into a system and not be able to do much. So this is the post-exploitation phase, and more on that's gonna come later. Number six, the reporting phase. So yeah, you document everything, literally everything. What vulnerabilities were found, how they were exploited, and their potential impact. Everything needs to be documented and reported to the customer or the client. A clear report is essential for both technical teams and business decision makers. Tip: write in a way that both technical and non technical people can understand. Be thorough but clear. I think that's pretty straightforward because you might decide you want to write technically, and people that actually make decisions in the business might not even understand what you're saying. So please learn to write in an easier way. And I think I do write in an easy way because I don't really have too much technical writing skill. So let's get into number seven, remediation and follow up. The final phase is about fixing the vulnerabilities. After remediation, you may run another test to ensure that the issues have been fixed or resolved and the system is secure. So, why is it important? The goal of penetration testing isn't just finding problems, it's helping to fix them and ensure long term security. And that is really straightforward. After reporting, you remediate and you follow up. You're not the one that's going to fix the vulnerability, they will, and you go back again and test again if whatever you reported has been fixed or it's still the same. And we're going to deep dive into that too later. So, conclusion: understanding the seven phases of penetration testing is essential for anyone starting out in ethical hacking. It's really important you know the steps to take, right? Each phase builds on the previous one, forming a comprehensive process that helps secure systems. Whether you are using platforms like the Actor Box or conducting real-world tests, mastering these steps will set you up for success in your cybersecurity career. I'm writing this like I'm writing to myself because this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm studying on a platform called Actor Box, and I'm actually conducting some real-world testing too. So basically, talking to myself. Thanks for joining me again, and stay safe and happy hacking.